Hi, I'm here to talk about some tips for after surgery, particularly for a hip or a knee. Often with a hip surgery, you're going to be limited to 90 degrees of hip flexion, which is just me sitting here in this chair, not bending over any further than that. And also for a knee, which will be limited, it won't be able to bend as far as you need it to do some everyday activities. So I'm going to talk about some tools to make life a little bit easier. The first one is a sock puller. So getting a sock on with those limitations is very difficult, if not impossible. So the sock puller helps with that. It has these ropes so you can go ahead and just throw it in front of you. And then you're just gonna step your foot into that just like that, and then use the ropes to pull the sock all the way up onto your foot. The next is gonna be what to do with your shoes. So they have a lot of shoes now that are easy step-in shoes. They're made for that. Those can be a great option. If you have a specialty shoe or a shoe you really love that you don't want to change out of, they do have an option. There are laces. This particular brand that I have are called Caterpie. There may be other brands out there, but the laces are actually made to be elastic, so it can make your shoe into a step-in shoe. The only issue can be that the tongue is not hard. So you may have to use this other tool, which is a grabber, which is really helpful if you're dropping things on the ground, which inevitably happens because you can't bend over to pick it up. You can use the grabber tool to do that. I used it for picking up my shoe and getting it in place. And then if I needed to keep that tongue from sliding up on me, I would hold the tongue of the shoe, and then you can just step right into that shoe. Some other things to keep in mind is it's great to have a night light in the bathroom that you're going to be using at nighttime. You'll be heavily medicated. It's hard to make your way in there, so having that light makes it a little bit safer and easier to use. You're going to want a shower chair. When you're allowed to get into the shower, you want to have that height and the ability to sit down. Sometimes also having a raised toilet seat can be very helpful in being able to stay above that 90 degrees. The last thing is it's very helpful to have either a written schedule of the meds that you're taking and when you're taking them, or to put reminders in your phone. When you're medicated and you're tired, you're recovering from surgery, sometimes it's hard to keep track of when you took that last medication and how long you're supposed to wait. So it's very useful to either write it down or to have it in your phone with alarms to set off. So good luck with everything. Hang in there. Everything's gonna get better.